All right, so the Cleveland Browns quarterback battle continues. Rookie wide receiver Denzel Boston took to the podium, and obviously we've seen with our own two.
Is it genuinely possible for an NFL rookie to step up to a press conference microphone and silently signal the downfall of a multimillion-dollar quarterback without saying a single disrespectful word? When Cleveland Browns wide receiver Denzel Boston took the podium at training camp, the media thought they were getting standard, rehearsed athlete answers about practice schedules and playbook learning. But if you carefully listen to the cadence of his answers, look at his body language, and cross-reference his words with the footage leaking out of practice, an explosive story immediately emerges. The rookie
and I think that, we're able to make plays across the board.
What time do the meetings start? What time do they end?
Meetings start at, lift. So sometimes we have a 7 o'clock lift, and then meetings will start at 8. And then that first session will end at about 11, and then we'll go into practice, and then after practice, we'll have another about 3-hour.
Pass catcher didn't have to verbally attack the established veteran under center. The sheer excitement in his voice when discussing deep shot connections told the entire story. There is a rapidly growing, undeniable chemistry building on the practice field between Boston and Shedeur Sanders, while the multimillion-dollar starter continues to slide deeper into an absolute tailspin.
And I just got to remind, they'd be like, why are you back here? I'm like, watch the film. I took one back to the house. You know what I mean? So you can say what you want, but I did that. So
have you set your goals for this season?
Have I set my goals?
What happened when the microphone kept rolling exposed a young player who is ready to completely reshape the identity of this offense. To understand the intense pressure building inside the Cleveland facility, you have to look directly at the catastrophic numbers being put up by the veteran under center. Deshaun Watson was brought into this franchise on an unprecedented, fully guaranteed contract designed to deliver instant championship contention. But the reality unfolding...
You thought you should have been a first-round pick?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that still on your shoulder there?
That will forever be on my shoulder the rest of my life. That's going to forever be a driving factor of the reason...
On the field has been nothing short of a complete disaster. Across the initial slate of practices, Watson has thrown a shocking 6 interceptions, 4 of which occurred during basic 7 on 7 and 11 on 11 drills without pads even being worn. Throwing multiple picks into basic coverage schemes when defensive linemen aren't even allowed to hit you is an immediate red flag that sends pure panic through a coaching staff. The local beat writers and corporate sports outlets are doing everything in their power to spin these performances as simple off-season rust. But the players on the field know the truth. You can feel the stark contrast in energy whenever Shedeur steps into the huddle, dropping absolute dimes down the sideline and connecting on explosive, high-praise deep balls. But that wasn't the only shocker revealed during the podium session. While the quarterback situation spirals into chaos, Denzel Boston is rapidly turning into an absolute nightmare for secondary defenders across the league. Standoffish cornerbacks are quickly realizing that when the ball is in the air, normal coverage...
...to a mentality of, that's my ball. I think that's what it comes down to. I do have that height advantage that I can abuse when I can, but at the same time, I think it comes down to a mentality of I'm going to go get it.
For a bigger guy, we're talking to the Christian Jones about your ability to separate and break down and how, that's rare for a guy your size. And I think we've seen plenty of examples of that. How have you been...
Rules simply do not apply to a 6'4" target. When reporters questioned Boston about his uncanny ability to win high-stress 50-50 jump ball situations, he didn't offer a complicated breakdown of physics or positioning. He delivered an ice-cold statement, "That's my ball." That ruthless, aggressive mentality wasn't just born overnight. It was forged through years of multi-sport dominance. Growing up with 3 older brothers in the backyard, tracking fly balls as a high school center fielder, and high-pointing rebounds off the basketball rim gave him an elite spatial awareness that cannot be taught in a playbook. When a throw is launched downfield, he actively uses his massive frame to abuse defensive backs, turning contested catches into routine plays. And what makes this dominant play style even more terrifying is the massive grudge driving his every single snap. There is a dark, relentless fire burning.
Really any struggles since you got here in the offseason from him? Does it feel like you have had any, and did you have any doubts about how this transition was going to go for you?
No, I don't have any doubts just because I come into everything I do very confident. I try to just be confident in everything I do. there's definitely been highs and lows. You know, some practices are better than others. Some days you make highlight plays. Some days you make the routine plays. And when you make
inside Denzel Boston that stems directly from the night he walked into the NFL draft. Despite putting together an incredible collegiate career and showcasing first-round physical traits, he watched team after team pass on his name until he slid right out of the top 32 picks. Browns wide receivers coach Jones publicly noted earlier in camp that Boston plays with a visible, aggressive edge specifically because he felt insulted by that draft night drop. When asked directly about that comment at the podium, Boston didn't downplay the narrative or offer a safe PR answer. He looked straight ahead and declared that the chip on his shoulder will forever be a driving factor for the rest of his life. He isn't interested in making friends or keeping the peace. He is on a personal mission to make 31 front offices pay for doubting his talent. That intense chip manifests in his daily work ethic, propelling him through grueling physical challenges that would break lesser players. But the physical battles on the field are only half the story of what it takes to survive in the pros. The general public usually imagines an NFL training camp as endless hours of running routes, lifting heavy weights, and practicing under the scorching sun. But according to Boston, the most mentally brutal aspect of the professional transition happens behind closed doors in silent, dimly lit meeting rooms. The daily routine is a staggering endurance test. Players arrive for a grueling weight session as early as 7 a.m., immediately followed by 3 straight hours of intensive chalk talks, film sessions, and installs. After practice concludes, they are thrust right back into another massive 3 to 4 hour block of meetings late into the evening. Boston openly admitted that fighting off drowsiness during these marathon film sessions is the toughest challenge of his entire transition. Fortunately for Cleveland, his collegiate coach at Washington, Jedd Fisch, specifically structured the college program to mimic an NFL schedule down to the minute. The lack of college classes has actually liberated the young receiver, allowing him to
do that. You kind of can just play fluid, play free, and just go out there have fun.
I know you've caught passes from all the quarterbacks, but it feels like you and Shedeur have had some connections early in this camp. Where do you think, I guess, that connection, that chemistry comes from?
pour his entire life into mastering the mental side of the game. And that mental discipline is showing up in areas of the game where most star receivers refuse to sacrifice their bodies. Most towering, highly touted pass catchers pride themselves exclusively on catching highlight reel touchdowns and showing off footwork on social media. But Denzel Boston is bringing a blue-collar, violent physicality to the position that has the coaching staff completely enamored. He openly embraces heavy run-blocking duties in the trenches, delivering a clear philosophy. The rock is not coming to you unless you block. He understands that if you refuse to dig out safety valves or crack down on linebacker edges, you simply will not earn snaps on Sunday. But his unselfishness doesn't stop at the line of scrimmage. Despite his high-profile status, Boston actively...
I mean, at Washington, we had about the same kind of schedule. That's what Fish tries to do over there, is kind of just mimic NFL schedules. So that's kind of what we were doing over there, just we also had class on top of it. For me, it's great. Like, I don't got no class, so nothing really changed for me.
You know, Coach Jones said
volunteered for special teams duty, taking brutal reps as a gunner on punt coverage, lining up on kick returns, and charging down the field on punt block units. When teammates question why a star receiver is risking his body on special teams, he simply tells them to go check his college film, where he was already taking kickoffs straight back to the house. This absolute refusal to act...
Giving away hints of where you're going to go, as in like leaning before you're about to break into the route.
Maybe it's related to that, but when you're running like a comeback, I saw you catch a comeback against Tyson the other day. What's the key there for you to, I guess, sell him on this arguably comeback and then be able to create that gap?
Right, yeah, you know, you got to push him vertical. You got to get him to flip his hips and run with.
like a diva is completely altering the culture of the wide receiver room. And what happened next would reveal the exact technical secrets elevating his route running to elite levels. Having raw physical size and a gritty work ethic is one thing, but translating those tools into crisp, unstoppable NFL route running requires surgical precision. Boston credited a massive portion of his rapid elevation to learning directly under veteran wideout Jerry Jeudy and receivers coaches CJ and Monken. They have spent hours drilling him on the subtle, microscopic details that make defensive backs look foolish. In the NFL, cornerbacks are far too athletic to be beaten by raw speed alone. You have to actively trick them with your body.
And then I played baseball as well, tracking different balls. Yeah, I was a center fielder.
Wait, are you saying that your meetings, and I think you said include the walks, are 3 hours?
Yes.
You do that twice a day?
Yes.
I mean, is that kind of like a guy's
Language. Boston explained the delicate art of running comeback routes, pushing vertical, forcing the defensive back to completely flip his hips and sprint, and then sinking his hips into a sharp, parallel break to drive back downhill toward the ball. The key is eliminating subtle hints, like leaning early or altering stride length before making a break, which instantly telegraphs the route to veteran defenders. By mastering these disguised stems and hiding his intentions until the absolute last second, he is creating massive separation on intermediate cuts.
Good question.
Just when you showed up, you didn't have any doubts that
Yeah,
it
no.
struggle for you?
Yeah, no doubts.
So you taking a couple punt return reps? Are you on any other special teams?
Yeah, I'm with the kick returners for kickoff return, punt returner on punt return, gunner for punt, and that's about it right now. I'm working a little bit front line on punt block too.
Something new for you, right?
Gunner? No, I played gunner in college as well. Yeah.
During the draft process and certainly getting to know these guys, that UC Davis punt return come up quite a bit for you?
The pieces of a massive, franchise-altering puzzle are rapidly falling into place right before our eyes. Cleveland has stumbled upon a towering, hyper-focused rookie wide receiver who possesses an eternal draft night grudge, an unselfish blocking mentality, and elite 50-50 ball mastery. More importantly, he is developing a dynamic, electrifying connection with a young,
But yeah, I think it just comes down to trust, and that's about it.
How do you think playing high-level college football has prepared you for this step?
I would say, especially with the Big Ten, there's a lot of NFL, like ex-NFL defensive coordinators over there. So being able to see those different type of defenses and all that type of stuff has prepared me, and I think also the physical part of the game.
confident quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, while the multimillion-dollar veteran continues to throw fatal mistakes into double coverage. You can only conceal the truth on practice fields for so long before the sheer weight of performance forces a head coach's hand. As the padding comes on and the games get real, the Browns front office is staring down an unavoidable, high-stakes decision. The fan base can feel the shift, the players in the locker room know what the tape says, and the narrative has officially breached the surface. The only remaining question is how long the organization can pretend this quarterback competition is still even before they hand the reins over to the future.